Welcome to Voyage Daily Tech, the most important news personalized for you every day, supported by Voyage.com.
We've got 5 fascinating tech stories lined up for you today. First up, we'll dig into how Meta is reportedly offering, well, let's just say 9-figure signing bonuses to poach top AI talent. Then, we'll pivot to the escalating US-China tech war, as the US considers a move that could block major chip makers from using American tech in their Chinese factories. After that, a story that's pure politics, Donald Trump's surprising reversal on TikTok, where he's now defending the very app he once tried to ban. From there, we'll see why JPMorgan Chase is declaring all-out war on its rivals, aiming to grow its online investing platform to $1 trillion. And we'll wrap up with the incredible, almost unbelievable story of how Grateful Dead fans accidentally funded the blueprint for the modern social internet. Let's start with a single statistic that might just change your entire perspective on the AI talent war. $100 million. That's the reported signing bonus Meta is offering to poach top talent from its biggest rival, OpenAI. That bombshell comes directly from OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman. On a recent podcast, Altman stated, "I've heard that Meta thinks of us as their biggest competitor," adding that Meta's current AI efforts have not worked as well as they have hoped. He said he respects them for being aggressive and continuing to try new things. And that aggression is now on full display. You know, before making its latest blockbuster move, Meta was secretly in takeover talks with the AI search startup Perplexity AI, but the deal never happened. One source claimed the talks were mutually dissolved, while another said Perplexity itself walked away. So what did Meta do after getting turned down? It pivoted and dropped a jaw-dropping $14.3 billion on an investment in Scale AI, taking a massive 49% stake and bringing Scale's founder, Alexander Wang, into Meta's fold. But that's not the whole picture. This follows another failed attempt by Meta to acquire a different company, Safe Superintelligence, which was reportedly valued at $32 billion. This pattern of failed takeovers and massive poaching attempts reveals the core conflict. Mark Zuckerberg has reportedly grown agitated that rivals like OpenAI and Google appear to be ahead in the AI arms race. So now he's going to extreme lengths to buy, build, or recruit his way to the top. The question is no longer if Meta is serious about winning, but how far it's willing to go to close the gap. Speaking of high-stakes competition, the biggest one of all the US-China tech war just saw another major escalation. The US Commerce Department is now reportedly weighing a measure to cancel critical waivers for some of the world's biggest chip makers, including Samsung, SK Hynix, and Taiwan Semiconductor. This isn't a small tweak. This move would block them from sending essential US chip-making technology to their own advanced factories located inside China. This potential escalation comes just days after the US and China reportedly agreed to a new trade framework, signaling that any truce is incredibly fragile. The situation presents a fascinating duality. On one side, US national security concerns, while on the other, the massive integrated global supply chain. And the financial stakes here, they're immense. Look no further than Nvidia, which already reported that recent export restrictions cost it around $8 billion in sales. However, the most startling figure came directly from Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang. He stated that the $50 billion market in China for AI chips is now, in his words, effectively closed to US industry. He went on to call being blocked from that market a tremendous loss. This all begs the question, as the US tightens its grip, how will the world's largest chip makers navigate being caught in the middle of a multi-billion-dollar technological standoff? The US-China tech struggle isn't just about hardware. It's also playing out in the world of social media, leading to a truly stunning political reversal. A seemingly impossible situation became a reality yesterday. The very person who once tried to ban TikTok is now being called its biggest defender using an executive order to defy a US law. President Donald Trump has just granted TikTok a third 90-day extension, pushing a potential ban or forced sale to September 17. This move comes despite a law recently upheld by the Supreme Court that was designed to force the app's sale by its Chinese parent company, ByteDance, over national security concerns. What really brought this to a head was the reason Trump himself gave for his change of heart. He stated, "I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok because I won youth by 34 points. He's directly crediting the platform with its 170 million American users for helping him in the 2024 election TikTok even released a statement thanking Trump for his leadership and support in keeping the app online. But this reversal is setting up a major political showdown. The White House claims the extension is simply to ensure a deal gets done and data is secured, but critics are sounding the alarm. The criticism was swift and sharp. For example, Senate Intelligence Vice Chairman Mark Warner said, once again, the Trump administration is flouting the law. An executive order can't sidestep the law, but that's exactly what the president is trying to do. This isn't just about a social media app anymore. It's a high-stakes battle pitting a president's political gratitude against a national security law he once championed. With the new deadline now set, the core question remains, is a deal actually on the horizon, or is this simply delaying the inevitable for political gain? From high-stakes political battles to corporate ones, America's biggest bank, JPMorgan Chase, is now declaring war on its rivals in the online investing space. The CEO of America's biggest bank, Jamie Dimon, once said this about his own company's investing platform: "We don't even think it's a very good product yet." That was back in 2021, a stunningly blunt admission of failure. Today, that's all changing. The banking Goliath that was once a laggard is officially going on the offensive. Despite being the largest bank in the US, JP Morgan is relatively puny in the self-directed investing space, with just over $100 billion in assets. For context, established giants like Charles Schwab and Fidelity manage trillions. This is where the situation takes a more complex turn. JP Morgan is rolling out a major push, starting with new tools that let users research and trade bonds directly from the same mobile app they use to check their bank balance. It's a direct shot at the competition, designed to stop their customers from taking their money elsewhere. They're also dangling up to $700 in cash for customers who move their funds over. After all, they're targeting a massive, untapped market. JP Morgan already banks half of all affluent households in the country, but unbelievably, it only holds a 10% share of their investment dollars. This entire strategy culminates in one truly ambitious number. Paul Hynix, the executive hired to overhaul the platform, stated their new goal: it's not to gain a few billion. The target is to turn their self-directed investing business into a $1 trillion behemoth. From a product the CEO openly criticized to a $1 trillion target, JP Morgan is betting it can leverage its brand and massive customer base to upend the entire industry. The only question is, will it work? We've been talking about the giants of today's tech and finance world, but for our final story, let's go back, way back. We're going to the very roots of the social internet, and it begins in a place you would never expect. The story begins with a fact that sounds like a piece of trivia, but it's absolutely true. Long before social media took over, one of the most influential forces shaping the internet was the psychedelic rock band The Grateful Dead. This isn't a metaphor. In the 1980s, a pioneering online community called The Well became a hotbed for the future of Silicon Valley. It was a text-based dial-up service that was more advanced than anything like it, allowing dozens of people to chat in real time, but running it was expensive. So the thing is, the platform was almost entirely funded by fans of the Grateful Dead. These deadheads were so devoted to discussing concert tapes, lyrics, and tour dates that they willingly paid $2 an hour plus an $8 monthly fee just to connect. Their obsessive chatter kept the lights on for the entire experiment. The Well wasn't just a fan forum. It was an incubator for radical ideas. Its login screen greeted users with a revolutionary message: you own your own words. This was perhaps the first time user-generated content was recognized as the core value of a digital platform. However, if you zoom out, you'll see this was more than just a fan community. The Well became a digital salon for the founders of AOL, Craigslist, and Wired magazine. Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak was a member. The community's discussions were so cutting edge that one tech executive said, "Being on The Well kept me 6 months ahead of other people." This all culminated with the Grateful Dead's own lyricist, John Perry Barlow. After seeing early internet users clash with law enforcement, he realized this new electronic frontier needed protection. In 1990, he co-founded the Electronic Frontier Foundation, or EFF, which remains one of the world's most important digital rights advocacy groups to this day. One of the Well's co-founders later lamented the modern internet, stating, "Once your community members are the product rather than the customer, you don't have a community." It leaves you wondering, did a band of hippies accidentally build the blueprint for the corporate machine they were trying to escape?
That's it for today on Voyage Daily Tech. Follow, share, and stay tuned for daily updates coming your way tomorrow.